Alright, I'm around UN Park, and this area has the worst roads. Now, I remember when this road was okay. It was pitched and it was smooth, and I remember at one point a couple of years ago, also earlier in 2023, that this road felt pretty smooth to ride on, drive, ride, cycle onto, and walk onto, but now it's so dusty. There's a lot of potholes everywhere, and the part about potholes on this road is they're not just a lot, they are ginormous potholes. They are not tiny potholes. And I don't like ravaging my car through potholes. I feel like most private car owners don't like pummeling through these potholes. These are like pretty rough roads, big potholes there. And yeah, this is not fun. And I drive typically slow on these parts, as do other private motorists, because the faster you go on these, the more wear and tear you have to pay for at some point. Also, the quicker the wear and tear of shocks, tires, dampeners, suspension, you name it. And so it's a lot of zigzagging on this road, like what I just did. It's also not safe when you zigzag too much, because bikes are also trying to zigzag and like move across traffic. And then when you drive slow, the person behind you naturally wants to overtake you because they may or may not care about their own vehicle as much. I've noticed this a lot of public vehicles that have drivers that don't actually own the car. They just go through, and that just doesn't sit well with me, because at the end the car wears and tears and breaks down much faster when you go through rough roads, unless you have like a big 4x4 pickup and stuff that can handle the abuse. But for the most of our cars in town, we can't afford that. And I guess driving a bit slower and more cautiously around these bumpy areas is better. But again, that's just my personal preferences. I would not think everyone would agree with it. And so yeah, driving on this Ring UN Park stretch has become such a nightmare. Like, when did these potholes come up? I remember for the longest time, the stretch from Bagmati Bridge in Kathmandu to the stretch to Bagmati Bridge at UN Park was pitched and without too many potholes, and it didn't even have like potholes that have been repaired, and so there are like slight bumps, and it was just a straight pitch. Like, that's all I remember. And fast forward to the end of 2023, this road is a disaster. Like, something that are pretty evident is like right down here, there is a section that was dug out from left to right all the way, which means someone dug it out for piping. Like, that's something I just don't understand in Nepal. The local government, the city government will come and like give a fresh pitch, but within like a week or two, there's someone like coming in and like putting in a pipeline and digging it all up again. And here's the worst part. I'm not saying don't do it. I understand these rules and regulations, the timing come in like very disarrayed ways, unorganized ways, but like when you dig it up, why do people never fill it in properly? Like, what? This pothole right here, it's clearly been dug up because it's gone right across the road for some piping, but then whoever did it, why did they not fill it in properly? Why is the filled in patches so bumpy? Why are they left there? Isn't it their responsibility? Why did the one who was digging not coordinate with the one who was like pitching the road? I feel like these are just common sense things that should have happened prior to like an infrastructure project. Do people get more money out of just pitching and finishing it in a cycle and then having to repitch? Like, is there corruption in this? I don't get it. Why is it so inefficient? Like, I have another road I use sometimes around Sangkumul, and I kid you not, the people in the locality literally dug up the road within a week of this certain road being pitched, and I was just like, what the hell? It's not even been a road that the smooth pitch and fresh paint had been like painted on the road, and there was already the same sort of pipe work done and like a horizontal line that was dug up. I just don't get it. Do people not want good things in Kathmandu? Does the government not want? Do people not want? Like, where is this like inefficiency coming from, and why are people not questioning it? Is my concern. And how quickly and badly this road, this Pagmati Parallel Road in Kupandol has deteriorated, just like boggles me so much. Concerns me, surprises me in both a good and bad way. I feel like this should not have happened. And yeah, cumulatively, what I think about is it's a busy road. There's a lot of dust in the air, which means more people will use AC, which means more people will be using more fuel. And if it's just you or someone else that you know, a family or two that uses more fuel and things, that maybe won't add up. But it's you and the 100 vehicle owners around you that all use AC, and hence there is more usage of fuel everywhere, and that adds up, you know. Same with bikes in jams. I'm not saying this as an EV owner. I used to think about this before switching into an EV too, but when you get stuck in these bad jams, people have like more congestion, there's more time on the road. It's you and then the 1,000 people around you. I'm thinking about bikers, taxi people. Oh, why was he in such a rush to overtake me? Public vehicle users, everyone. Like, I just think about how much I'm so happy that this policeman is disciplining this road here, because it gets so bad with incoming traffic just coming. The one thing I don't understand about what Nepali people just don't seem to like perceive is that when there's traffic, you need two-way flow for like traffic to open up. If one way there is more traffic volume, then quickly what happens is bikers and cars get impatient too on that side, and they quickly block this side to the other side, the opposite side. And my thinking is basically, if one side takes both sides, if one direction of traffic takes both sides of the road, then where are the people commuting on the other side of the road? What road will they use? It's just gonna create a gridlock. So everyone is in such a rush to just get to their places, they don't think about this. And I'm just like, isn't that common sense? If you have a 2-lane road, one for each direction, and just one direction clogs up both sides, then isn't that gonna create more jam, and in return actually gonna stall how much longer you're gonna have to wait? Like, even if I'm in a rush and this side is clogged and I go to that side, I'm gonna get stuck there because I'll naturally at some point meet a vehicle coming from that side. And so my question is, when I go and block the other side, won't I be taking more time of myself and them and everyone around me when I do it? Like, it's just something I think about in traffic when I see bikers, especially think, oh, as long as I get to go through and overtake and like use the other side, I feel like traffic will go by. But it's not just you, one biker thinking, it's like 50 bikers thinking of it at once, to the point that they actually clog the opposite side. And when they clog the opposite side, there's no room for like incoming traffic to like cross. And so I'm just like, this guy thinks he's gonna get home quicker by quickly overtaking everyone on the opposite side, but the thing is, the biker, he or she, is just making us all wait longer, because he's gonna get the other vehicle on the other side stuck, and that means we're all getting stuck here for 5 seconds longer. And if you as one bike or car get stop traffic for 5 seconds longer, that's easily 50 other bikes doing it too, which means time is just adding up on the roads, you know. I don't know whether people are just not thinking that far ahead, but this again comes back to my whole thing about roads are a shared space now. It's no longer that I can use the road like 15 years ago and there's only like 50 people around me. There are constantly at least 1,000 people on the road at all times in Kathmandu, and you really need to think of it as like a shared resource among all of you. Anyway, if you have any other questions or comments or issues that you want to talk about, drop a comment below and maybe I'll bring up some things in another future video.